Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
Today we're diving into the world of digital marketing. I don't know about you, but I feel like this is one of those things that just changes constantly.
Absolutely. It feels like every time I learn a new strategy, there are 3 more popping up to replace it.
Right. So how do we keep up? Well, I think I found at least part of the answer.
I'm all ears.
It's this book right here, Digital Marketing Mastery by Dr. Ephraim Oviawe.
Ah, I've heard good things.
It's seriously impressive. I mean, it covers everything. Like you go from the basics all the way to some really advanced stuff.
So it's good for beginners and experts.
That's what's so cool about it. Like he meets you where you're at, explains things in a way that makes sense, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing this for years.
That's the mark of a great teacher right there.
Totally. And he doesn't just throw jargon around, you know? He breaks down things like SEO and CRO in a way that's actually actionable.
I've got to admit, sometimes I read these marketing books and I'm like, okay, but how do I actually DO this?
Exactly. But this one's different. He gives you the why behind the what, so you understand the strategy and can adapt it to different situations.
I like that. Makes it feel less like a recipe you have to follow exactly and more like a framework you can build on.
That's a great way to put it. You know what else I love? His emphasis on content marketing.
Yeah, that's huge these days.
It's not just about writing blog posts anymore. He talks about videos, infographics, podcasts, all these different ways to connect with your audience.
I think people are realizing that audiences consume content in so many different ways now.
And it's about finding what works best for you and your audience, right? Dr. Oviawe gives you the tools to figure that out.
It's like he's saying, don't limit yourself, experiment, which is kind of refreshing, you know?
Totally. And he doesn't just tell you to create great content. He also talks about how to promote it effectively.
Because what good is amazing content if nobody sees it?
Exactly. He dives into all the different channels you can use: social media, email marketing, even paid advertising.
You know, one thing I'm curious about, is he speaking from experience or is this all just theory?
Oh, he's got the experience to back it up. He's a successful entrepreneur himself. Plus, he's a musician and an artist.
Wow, so he really walks the walk.
He does. And you can tell in his writing, he shares real-world examples and case studies so you can see how these strategies actually play out.
I find that so helpful because sometimes those textbook examples are just too perfect, you know?
Right. It's like, oh, sure, that worked for this hypothetical company, but what about in the real world?
Dr. Oviawe brings that real-world perspective, which is invaluable.
Absolutely. And he even throws in some personal anecdotes, which makes the book even more engaging.
I always appreciate that. It makes the author feel more relatable.
Now, I will say I was a little intimidated by some of the advanced topics, like marketing automation and omni-channel marketing.
Those can be tough.
But even there, Dr. Oviawe breaks things down in a way that makes them seem manageable.
What's his approach to omni-channel marketing? I feel like a lot of people struggle with that.
Well, essentially, it's about creating a seamless customer experience across all your digital channels.
Right. So your website, social media, email marketing, all working together.
Exactly. And he gives specific examples, like using retargeting ads or personalizing email campaigns based on website behavior.
That's so smart because it's all about meeting the customer where they are.
And speaking of helpful resources, he even provides a list of essential digital marketing tools.
That's great, especially for beginners.
It's like he's giving you a shortcut to finding the best tools to implement his strategies.
I love it when authors do that. It takes out some of the guesswork.
So for me, one of the biggest takeaways from Digital Marketing Mastery is that it's not just about tactics and techniques.
It's got to be more than that, right?
It's about building relationships, understanding your audience, and providing real value.
Those are the things that matter in the long run.
Exactly. And Dr. Oviawe emphasizes that throughout the book. He encourages you to think beyond those quick wins and focus on building sustainable long-term success.
Which is harder, but ultimately more rewarding.
And he even includes a glossary of those tricky digital marketing abbreviations.
Super helpful. Sometimes I feel like I need a decoder ring just to read these articles.
Right. Seriously, this book has it all.
It sounds like it. So far, Digital Marketing Mastery is getting 2 thumbs up from me.
Definitely a must-read. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the specific modules and strategies from the book.
All right, so we're back. Ready to dive deeper into Digital Marketing Mastery.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So where do we even begin with this book? It's packed with so much information.
Well, I think one of the things that impressed me right off the bat was how Dr. Oviawe starts with the fundamentals, before he gets into all the fancy tactics.
Okay, like what kind of fundamentals are we talking about?
He actually takes the time to define what digital and marketing even mean. like in the context of today's world. It's like he wants to make sure everyone's on the same page from the very beginning.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we use these terms without really thinking about what they truly mean.
Exactly. Yeah. And he talks about how technology has evolved and how that's shaped the way we interact with businesses with each other.
Yeah.
It's like setting the stage for understanding the power of digital marketing.
That makes sense. So once he lays that foundation, where does he go from there?
Well, then he dives into search engine optimization, or SEO.
Ah, SEO. The thing that makes or breaks your website.
Pretty much. And it can be a pretty overwhelming topic.
Yeah.
But Dr. Oviawe has this way of breaking it down into manageable chunks.
I'm always up for making SEO less scary.
Right. So he starts with keyword research, which is basically figuring out what people are searching for online.
Okay, makes sense. You got to know what people are looking for if you want them to find you.
Exactly. And he gives you actual tools to use, like Google Keyword Planner. So you're not just guessing, you're using data to inform your strategy.
I love that. He's all about being data-driven.
Then he moves on to on-page optimization, which is all about making your website appealing to search engines.
So things like using the right keywords in your content and making sure your website is structured properly.
Exactly. And then he talks about off-page SEO, which is basically building credibility and authority for your website.
Okay, so that's stuff like getting other websites to link back to yours.
Exactly. Backlinks are like votes of confidence from other websites. And the more high-quality backlinks you have, the higher you're likely to rank in search results.
It's like a popularity contest for websites.
He actually uses that analogy in the book,
Yeah.
which I thought was brilliant. And he emphasizes the importance of quality over quantity when it comes to backlinks.
Makes sense. You don't want just any website linking to you. You want authoritative websites in your niche.
Right. It's about building those strategic partnerships. And he even talks about local SEO, which is huge for businesses with physical locations.
Oh yeah, you want to make sure people can find your brick and mortar store too.
Totally. He talks about optimizing your Google My Business listing and getting listed in local directories, so you're showing up in those near me searches.
He's really covering all the bases here.
Now, one of my favorite sections was on content marketing. Because you know me, I'm all about creating great content.
And Dr. Oviawe seems to share that passion.
He does. And he has a great way of emphasizing that content isn't just about churning out blog posts. It's about telling stories, providing value, and building relationships with your audience.
Yeah, it's got to be engaging. It's got to resonate with people.
Exactly. And he encourages readers to get creative and experiment with different formats, videos, infographics, ebooks, podcasts, whatever works best for you and your audience.
I love that he's not saying this is the only way to do it. It's more like find what works for you and go for it.
Right. And he gives practical tips on how to repurpose content, so you're getting the most mileage out of your efforts, like turning a blog post into a video or an infographic.
Smart. Work smarter, not harder.
And of course, he talks about measuring your results, because what's the point of creating amazing content if you don't know how it's performing?
Data is key.
He introduces tools like Google Analytics, which I know could seem a bit intimidating, but he explains it in a way that makes it feel accessible.
He's good at that, demystifying the technical stuff.
And he focuses on the key metrics that matter, like website, traffic, engagement, conversions. You know, the things that actually tell you if your content is working.
So you're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks.
Right, you're making data-driven decisions. And he even dives into A/B testing, which is basically comparing different versions of your content to see what performs best.
Oh, I love A/B testing.
Yeah.
It's like a science experiment for your marketing.
It is. And it takes the guesswork out of optimization.
So we've covered SEO, content marketing. What else is in this treasure trove of digital marketing knowledge?
Well, he also dives into conversion rate optimization, or CRO.
CRO. That's all about getting people to take action, right?
Exactly. Whether it's making a purchase, signing up for your email list, downloading a resource, you want to optimize your website and your content to maximize those conversions.
So how does Dr. Oviawe approach CRO?
He provides a framework for understanding your audience's journey, identifying those key conversion opportunities, and then A/B testing different elements to see what drives the most conversions.
Makes sense. It's all about understanding what motivates your audience.
Right, and he even gets into using heat maps and session recordings, which can be super insightful.
Where are those?
Heat maps basically show you where people are clicking on your website, so you can see what's grabbing their attention and what's being ignored.
That's cool.
And session recordings let you watch actual user sessions on your website, so you can see how people are interacting with your content, where they're getting stuck, all that good stuff.
It's like having X-ray vision into your website's user experience.
Exactly. It allows you to identify areas for improvement and make data-driven changes to increase your conversion rates.
So we've covered SEO, content marketing, CRO. We're hitting all the major points here.
We are, but Dr. Oviawe doesn't stop there. He also dives into some advanced digital marketing strategies. So we've covered a lot of ground, SEO, content marketing, CRO, even those more advanced strategies.
That's a lot to take in.
It is. But what really sets digital marketing mastery apart?
What's that?
It goes beyond just the technical stuff, the tactics and the strategies.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's like he brings a human touch to digital marketing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He reminds you that you're not just dealing with algorithms and data, you're connecting with real people.
Which is easy to forget sometimes when you're so focused on the numbers.
Totally. And that's where his personal story comes in.
Yeah, he weaves it throughout the book, right?
He does. And it adds so much depth and inspiration.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's a multi-talented artist, musician, entrepreneur, and he has a PhD.
Seriously, that's impressive.
It is. And he doesn't shy away from sharing his struggles and setbacks along the way.
I like that. Makes him seem more human, Like we all face challenges.
Exactly. He talked about the challenges of building a business, the importance of perseverance, the power of believing in yourself.
It makes the advice in the book feel more real and attainable.
Right. It's like he's saying, look, I've been there. I've faced these challenges, and I've overcome them using these strategies. You can too.
It's encouraging, to know that someone else has walked that path.
And he doesn't just talk about marketing businesses. He has a whole section on marketing yourself.
Oh, that's interesting. What's his take on that?
He basically says that everyone has a personal brand, whether they realize it or not. And he gives you the tools to shape that brand and use it to your advantage.
So it's about showcasing your skills, finding new opportunities, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And he even includes a chapter on styling and modern swag, which I thought was kind of fun.
Styling, what does that have to do with digital marketing?
Well, he talks about how important it is to make a strong first impression, especially in the digital world. Your online presence is often the first thing people see.
Oh, I see. So it's about presenting yourself professionally and authentically.
Exactly. And then he goes into branding, both personal and business branding. He talks about defining your values, identifying your target audience, crafting a consistent message across all your digital platforms.
So it's about creating a brand identity that resonates with your audience and sets you apart from the competition.
Right. And he provides exercises and prompts to help you define your unique brand essence.
I like that. It's not just theory. He gives you actionable steps.
He does. And you know what else I loved? He includes a collection of his own motivational quotes throughout the book.
Oh yeah, I remember those little nuggets of wisdom.
They're great. Perfect for those moments when you need a little boost or a reminder to stay focused on your goals.
It's like having a personal cheerleader in your back pocket.
Exactly. And let's not forget those practical resources he includes. The glossary of digital marketing abbreviations is a lifesaver.
Especially for beginners.
It demystifies all those acronyms and jargon that can make your head spin. And his list of essential digital marketing tools is like a treasure map. It points you to the best resources for everything, from website analytics to email marketing automation.
So he's not just telling you what to do, he's giving you the tools to actually do it.
Exactly. He's equipping you for success. So I think it's safe to say that Digital Marketing Mastery is more than just a book. It's a comprehensive guide, a source of inspiration, and a valuable resource that can help anyone succeed in the digital world.
I couldn't agree more. It's like having a personal mentor and a toolkit all in one.
Exactly. So if you're serious about taking your digital marketing to the next level, whether you're a business owner, a marketer, or just someone who wants to build a stronger online presence, do yourself a favor and get a copy of Digital Marketing Mastery.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
It's an investment that will pay off for years to come. And remember, digital marketing is an ever-evolving field. But the principles and strategies that Dr. Oviawe outlines in this book will provide a solid foundation no matter what changes come along.
Absolutely. It's all about adapting and evolving.
Well, that's it for our deep dive into digital marketing mastery. We hope you found this episode insightful and actionable. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a fascinating topic. Until then, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.